What's up, guys? This is Bullfire the Fell-Handed here, bringing you part 10 of the Art of the Hellcat. We are on Destructions. The greens have spawned on the northwest side of the board. The reds have spawned on the southeast side of the board. Once again, I am one deep here. No one to count on. We are, however, high tier in this lobby. It's tier 6, full of tier 6 actually. And, you know, the idea here is we're just going to use the greens in our favor. We're going to post up somewhere. We're going to put rounds down range while the greens light up targets for us. There is no reason to waste your health pool on, you know, getting shot when you don't have to, when the greens will do it for you. You have to, like when you are one deep, you have to think like this. You have to think, you know, your health pool, your health points are paramount compared to the rest of the team. Because when you die, the game's over. And that's how you have to approach this game. Not even talking about tank destroyers in general, just talking about the game in general. When you die, the game is over. And, you know, you may win or lose or what have you, but you just need to focus on using the greens to your advantage. You want to use everything in this game to your advantage, the greens of course being one of those. So you just want to make sure that you are using their spotting distance, you are using their health instead of yours, you're letting them get shot instead of you. And that's what it boils down to. That is just bare bones good tanking. Of course, you know, it's a little different story when you're in a scout tank. You know, it's your job to light things up. If no one lights things up, then the team as a whole, you know, typically do not do well. So it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. You have to, it's like everything else in this game, it's extremely situational. Also, almost missed it here. Shout out goes out to Nifty Biscuit, a fan. He messaged me, we ran together some. I think I even have capped a few games, so look for that coming soon. Moving on here, you know, our team is doing better than the Reds right now. Of course, you know, the veterans at this game will of course know that this can change at any moment. Trying to get some side shots here. You know, don't really have to use the APCR, but we are hitting some funny angles, so we're going to go ahead and throw it into the pit there and see if we can't make some things happen. Guys, you know, never be afraid to use premium rounds, because I know with a lot of people there's a stipulation, you know, you're a gold noob, whatever. You know, the thing is, it is foolish of someone to play a game and not use everything within the game to win. You know what I mean? That's just like, you know, somebody could have as easily started up the rumor, well, people who use fire extinguishers, you know, that's silly. Why would you ever use one? And then you burn to death every 10 games. You know, so use everything in this game in order to win. And guys, you never have to pay gold for premium rounds, just in case. I know there's some of you guys that aren't privy to this. Just go down to the bottom and hit Y, or I think it's Y, and change the currency, and then you buy silver. I've got loads of silver. I would not actually shoot money at any person in this game. I'm not quite that rich. Anyway, guys, moving on. Never be afraid to use premium rounds. Please do it for the bowl. Moving on here, you know, we're coming up through the middle. The game is going fairly well for us. It's not necessarily going well for me personally. I haven't really done, you know, a decent amount of damage. Now, with the Reds where they're at, you see I'm turning my turret because I'm extremely cautious. I'm afraid if they peek up over that ledge, they're just going to start putting rounds in the rear of my tank. Not that the rear and the front has a big difference in armor, but, you know, you never want to be shot at, you know, if you can't return fire. And that's kind of why I went up there at the turret turned backwards. Granted, you know, in this game you can only focus on one thing at a time. You can either drive the tank or shoot the gun. So I would have, you know, right shouldered it and hope for the best. But you never want to give up any free shots. You know, you want people to pay full price. In other words, if I go up that hill and somebody shoots me, I'm gonna, right shoulder, and I'm gonna put a round towards them. It may connect, probably won't connect, but the bottom line is you can't just let people have these freebies. So right there, my circle was fairly small, so I just went ahead and right shouldered that guy. Sometimes I like to do little experiments just to see, if I'm gonna connect, what the probability is. And you've got a Hellcat sitting there in the open, and my reticle was already small from where I was scoping someone else, so I had a good feeling it was going to hit. I definitely had a good feeling it was going to penetrate, because the Hellcat has weak armor all around, especially the side. So we did that, and we were rewarded with the pin. So moving on, it's R5 to their 4. I don't know how functional our artillery is going to be right now. I feel like it's more or less tied up. I feel like it's 4v4, because they are in excellent positions to not be hit by arty. I believe every single one of them is in that village, and there's going to be hell to pay to get them out of there. I think they're just posted up and they're holding that area, and they're doing, considering none of them are in a platoon, they all either happen to be in that area, or they all had like a group plan. Hey, let's go in here and make a last stand. Let's make them pay for every inch of soil they take. And it's a brilliant tactic, because nobody can get in there. Nobody can get even near them without them all four concentrating fire, assuming they're, roughly in the same area in that village, which would be smart. It's all about concentrated fire in this game, and that's why platoons, tend to be very, forceful in this game. If you get a 5-man platoon, you're very forceful. Of course, that's everything in this game is double-edged sword. You send your 5-man platoon one way instead of the other, and you lose the game because your heavies can't respond. Your 5-man heavy platoon or what have you. That's why, here at Bulls Brigade we typically like to run mediums. That way you can just respond to changing battlefield situations really quickly. I've kind of put myself in a bad spot here, but there's really no good way to go about this. No one on our team was taking any action, and I just decided, I said, let me get in here, let me do something, let me see if I can't make something happen, because the team's not doing it. And everybody's going to be there, guys. Every single one of you is going to be there. You're out there, you're making things happen. The team is kind of lackadaisical. They're okay with, the mediocre amount of speed in which the game is going. And and granted, I've always said, if you have time, take time. Could I have waited, for the greens to make a move? Yes, we had plenty of time on the clock. But you need to look at it when you get to an advanced level. You need to look at it that every time the gun isn't firing, you're losing damage. You don't need to see it as gaining damage, you need to see it as losing damage. That's why, if you've seen my higher tier videos, I'm saying you need to time the gun. As soon as the gun comes up, you need to be in a position where you can fire the gun. Because in the heavy tanks, the auto loaders, the reload's typically so long, so you just need to keep the gun running at all times. And it's difficult to do that in the lower tiers, because what happens is, you don't have that long of a reload, and as soon as the gun comes up, you fire. What that means is, what the higher DPM tanks mean is, you have longer exposure. You're exposed longer to enemy fire. And, that's never a good thing unless you happen to be in a very crunchy tank. And then, of course, we all know I never say count on armor. So it's a bad position to put yourself in regardless. So you have to be very cautious if you plan on DPMing anyone. Yeah, I was making a run on him. I pushed my luck, and you see what happens. But sometimes, guys, you have to push your luck in order, just to get things done on the board. And that was one of those situations where I was getting a little antsy. But it turned out okay for me. I did alright. 2,058 damage. Guys, thank you for watching The Art of the Hellcat, Part 10. I forgot what part I was on. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share.